Did you know the Sun almost had a twin brother? He almost came into being 4.6 billion years ago, but the fetus ultimately died in utero. That failed sun is still alive. It hangs in the night sky above us. His name is Jupiter. If he had weighed 13 times more back then, nuclear fusion will ignite inside. Earth will have two suns. At that time, the surface temperature will be 400 degrees Celsius. The ocean evaporated. Life will never appear. You and I do not exist at this moment, but Jupiter did not succeed. He became a frustrated, failed product of he carrying a belly full of liquid metallic hydrogen. It has been orbiting in the solar system for 4.6 billion years. You thought it was a balloon. Number, it contains a metallic ocean 40,000 kilometers deep, temperature higher than the surface of the sun. This failed star, he still uses his magnetic field, frenzied revenge on the entire solar system. How crazy is Jupiter's revenge? The magnetic field it generates is 20,000 times if you dare to get close to him. No need to enter the atmosphere. You are already dead. Jupiter's radiation within 0.1 seconds. Tear apart the DNA of every cell in your body. You will die from radiation. Died silently. NASA's Juno probe. To survive and get close to Jupiter, the entire fuselage was encased in a titanium coffin. Even so, each flyby of Jupiter, electronic devices are struggling frantically on the verge of collapse. Why a failed star? It can generate such a terrifying magnetic field. The answer is hidden in his belly. We always thought Jupiter is a giant balloon. But this understanding is completely wrong. When you pass through the surface of Jupiter, clouds 50 kilometers away, you'll find something that drives physicists crazy. Mad world. Imagine you were sitting in a space capsule that never regrets. Begin to sink into the interior of Jupiter. At the beginning, you passed through the ambient cloud layer, where the temperature was minus 600 kilometers degrees Celsius. Put your space capsule, swing it around like a ping pong ball. This wind speed is 3 times that of the strongest typhoon on Jupiter. Earth. However, this is just a breeze. Continue for another 1,000 kilometers. Temperatures began to soar. The pressure started to become abnormal. The hydrogen here is neither a gas nor a liquid. Instead, it's a bizarre state called supercomponent fluid. It's like both water and mist. You can't tell if you're swimming or flying. The pressure at this point is already on 10,000 times that of the atmosphere. It's like having Mount Everest pressing down on your head. But the real horror is yet to come. When you sink to a depth of 20,000 kilometers, the pressure reached 2 million times that of Earth's atmosphere. Temperature soars to 20,000 degrees, hotter than the surface of the sun. Under these extreme conditions, the hydrogen atom was compressed and collapsed. Electrons were being torn off the atomic nucleus with a series of sounds to flow freely. Now, hydrogen gas has transformed into a substance never seen before, metallic hydrogen. How big is this ocean? It makes up 78% of Jupiter's volume. Depths exceeding 40,000 kilometers. It is 3 times the diameter of Mariana Trench. It's not even a puddle compared to it. This is no ordinary ocean. Instead, it is a sea of conductive metal. It sparkles like mercury. Like molten lava, hot and churning. It is also spinning at a crazy speed. A day on Jupiter is less than 10 hours long. It is the fastest rotating planet in the solar system. A giant sphere with a diameter of 140,000 kilometers. It completes one rotation every 10 hours. This means Jupiter's equatorial rotation approximately 13 kilometers per second. This ocean of liquid metal, like a super generator. Electricity is generated while rotating. Ultimately, they created that could kill everything. The intruder's terrifying magnetic field. In 2016, NASA's Juno spacecraft arrived at Jupiter. It began the craziest thing in human history. Subplanet exploration. Scientists originally thought Jupiter's core is likely a solid rock. Just like the core of the Earth. It was the first one 4.6 billion years ago that formed this planet. But the data sent back by everyone fell silent. Jupiter has no solid core. Or rather, his core is vague. The rock core that should have been hard. It appears to have melted into the liquid metal cleaning process, like a piece of sugar dissolving in water. Scientists call this structure a dilution core. It occupies half the radius of Jupiter. However, there are no clear boundaries. You simply can't tell where the core is. Where is the ocean? This discovery has completely overturned our understanding of planet formation. One theory holds that in the early solar system, a giant round star, it collided with the young Jupiter. His core was smashed apart, but the latest simulations show this impact. It's simply impossible to produce such uniformity. Dissolving effect. The truth may be even more bizarre. Jupiter's core, this is how it was formed from the very beginning. A slow and gradual process. A process we completely do not understand. Speaking of which, we must mention the famous large red birthmark. This is a war that has already been 400 years at least. It is longer than the history of Earth. How big is he? He could swallow the entire Earth. You can swallow one more. Wind speeds reached up to 600 kilometers, the strongest tornado on Earth. He was like a gentle breeze. But Juno discovered an even more astonishing fact. The Great Arrhythmia is not just a surface phenomenon. His roots, the system extends to a depth of 350 kilometers below the clouds. This means, this storm, it has taken deep root in the atmosphere of Jupiter. Like a giant tree hanging upside down with unseen roots, drawing energy from Jupiter's interior. And the most ironic thing is, such a magnificent, the red spot is located 40,000 kilometers deep, staying in the liquid water ocean from Jupiter. It's just a pimple on the skin. We have studied Jupiter for hundreds of years. It turns out they were just studying his skin. Jupiter failed to become a star, but he was not content to be a supporting actor. 4.6 billion years. He has always been doing it in his own way, affecting the entire solar system. In 1994, a satellite named Shoemaker-Jackson Comet number 9 has entered Jupiter's territory. Jupiter's powerful profitability tore the comet into 21 pieces. Then, like skewering candied hawthorns, let them line up and crash into them. The impact lasted for 5 days. The energy released is equivalent to 2 billion Hiroshima atomic bomb. Simultaneous explosion leaves on the surface of Jupiter and Earth the same size scar. Many people say that Jupiter is Earth's protector. It shielded us from countless asteroids and comets. But scientists have recently discovered that things are not so simple. Jupiter's gravity can indeed attract and deflect some space rocks. But he would also put some asteroids that would not normally collide with Earth. It was thrown precisely at us. In other words, Jupiter is both a shield and a sniper. The probability of him attacking Earth is almost as high as his failed star of attacking never truly surrendered to the sun. He was just doing it in his own way, continuing to toy with the entire solar system. Liquid metallic hydrogen inside Jupiter, more than just a curious phenomenon from a distant planet. Scientists on Earth are going crazy, trying to copy him. They used diamond needles and high-energy lasers, attempting to compress hydrogen into the pressure inside Jupiter, creating artificial liquid metallic hydrogen. Why? Because if liquid metal hydrogen can exist stably at room temperature and pressure, it will be discovered by humankind. The most perfect superconducting material. It can transmit electricity without any energy loss. It may also be the most efficient energy storage ring. A small piece can store the equivalent of the energy of several tons of gasoline. Of course, all of this is currently just speculation, but Jupiter tells us this substance is real. Hydrogen, the simplest element in the universe. Under extreme conditions, it can be transformed into the most amazing material. The possibility of matter. It is far more expansive than we imagine. Next time you look up and see that bright spot of light in the night sky, don't just treat it as an ordinary planet. That was a failed sun. A star that failed to ignite. A vehicle carrying 40,000 electromagnetic monsters in the deep metal ocean. It is 318 times heavier than Earth. Its volume is 1,300 times that of Earth, but it was just a tiny bit short. That would allow us to access our solar system, become a binary star system. If 4.6 billion years ago, that nebula that forms Jupiter is a little bigger, 2 suns will rise alternately in the night sky tonight. Earth will be a scorched wasteland. Humans will never exist. We can stand here and look up at the starry sky. In some ways, we should thank Jupiter for its failure, but this loser never gave up. He used a magnetic field to seal off his territory, stirring up the entire solar system with gravity, with a bottomless metal ocean. It holds a secret that we still cannot unravel. The story of Jupiter has only just begun.